Be at the top, it's underneath before the arch, and 5 is underneath after the arch. Okay?
So this Yolanda, you need to do something with that flash.
Is it blind in y'all? It's not in y'all, is it?
It works.
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Well, I can't turn it off.
Just stop the video.
Yolanda.
Is it still in your eyes?
No,
Let me see it.
And
Oh,
I
I'm sorry. It's
recommend
definitely alright.
until you really get comfortable with waxing brows, fill them in first. And whatever hair is outside of what you filled in, that's what you remove. Okay? Yeah. But after, once you get comfortable with it, get more experience, you'll be able just to look at a person's brow and know what to do.
On TV.
So I'm going to brush the client's brow. Now, someone that has like thicker brows and longer hair, what you can do is brush up and trim it. So I'm not going to trim anything as far as her brows are concerned. Turn your head for me so everybody can see. I really don't need to trim anything, okay? But remember, when you're trimming someone's brows, make sure it's not camouflaging like sparse areas, okay? Because sometimes, like when a person has like long brow hair, it's actually camouflaging and it's covering up a space. So just make sure when you brush up, it's not covering a space. It's not filling in an area, okay? Because if you trim it, then you brush it back, it's going to be a hole there, all right?
Now, Miss English, you know that some of these young folks, they put those little parts in their eyebrows. What about that?
Oh, yeah.
And I just asked.
Yeah,
My kids have done that.
but with that, in that instance, then, you still shape the brow, but they're going to put the part in with like some clippers or something.
Okay.
No, you won't do it actually by waxing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who started that.
Soldier Boy.
I did that when I was in
That was
high
when
school.
he came out. Soldier Boy? Yeah. He had his eyebrows slit with the white tee, that first little video. Ever since then, I just see it.
We used to do that when I was in high school, way before Soldier Boy.
Everybody doing
Okay, so the wax is thickening up. It's cooling off, it's thickening up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just dip my stick in the middle and just right at the surface of the wax. I'm not going to dip it all the way down to the bottom. There's no need to do that. All right? And then I'm just going to wipe off one side, and that's pretty much all you need.
Tiny bit.
Okay.
Where do you get those little bitty sticks?
I have to purchase them. Oh, this is So when I apply, I'm going to actually make a slight gap. Okay, and what I mean by a slight gap, I'm going to make a slight gap between the placement of the wax and the person's actual hair. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to take off too much.
So I'm going to make a slight gap, and I'm just going to
My bad, y'all. I got close to.
just move the wax over until it meets the hair. All right.
You want to do mine? Sure.
And try to make the line as straight as possible.
Julie, let's share.
Because when you remove the wax, you won't have to be, it's going to be precise, going to be definition, and you won't have to do a lot of tweezing. All right. And press. Okay. Then you're going to fold, and you're just going to take and just remove all the residue. And the reason I make a slight gap, well, when I wax now I don't, but when I teach I tell you guys to make a slight gap. And the reason being is because if you place that wax right there where the hair is, you can actually get wax and hair that you don't want to remove. So that's the reason why I said make a slight gap and then just smooth it out until the hair and the wax meets. Okay? So I'm gonna do the top. And this is all I have on here. Okay. I don't have anything on the other side really. Okay. So I'm just gonna take this. I'm gonna do the slight gap again, and I'm just gonna smooth it until, and just drag it. I'm gonna have to get some more straight, but a straight line, okay? Get a little bit more wax.
Thank you.
Because you said step 2 is going to go
Before
the arch.
Mhm.
Okay.
And remember, don't double dip.
Please. You double dip the chip.
Don't do that either. Okay. So I extended it a little bit past the arch, but
Thank you.
for the most part. And only cover the wax, don't cover the hair. Because if you cover, just say I cover and I press, I can't see where the wax is going. So if I just cover the wax and I press, I can actually see if the wax is going to actually ooze and go into the hair.
Then what would you do?
Then you're going to have to remove it with some. Because if you try to remove it like this, you're going to take a brow. Alright. I'm gonna and remember, you can't let your placement overlap. So remember, I extended it a little bit here. So I'm just gonna start right underneath where I extended. I'm not going to overlap the wax because I'm going to be removing more of her skin in that area if I do. Okay, so can you see the consistency now of the, it's a little thicker, more creamier.
Pulling down.
Okay.
So is that only with soft wax that you can't go over it?
Right.
Okay.
Hard wax, you can go over an area more than once.